What's good, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the MF podcast. My guest today is Nathan James Campfield.
What's up? We good?
Nathan is a photographer, videographer, and owner of Camphaus Media. He is also the guitarist for the band Glasshouse,
Glass house.
Glass Heart. He is also the guitarist for Glass Heart. And in this interview, I'm going to be picking Nathan's brain on the kind of experiences that he's had working with so many bands in the music industry, touring various locations around the UK and Europe, and his kind of insights working with media for various organizations and businesses. So let's get into it. Nathan.
What's up? We good?
No, we're good. How you doing? How you coping?
Yeah, good man. It's good to be here. It's the first podcast I've ever done. So we'll
okay.
see how it goes and see how
Especially-
much absolute shite I talk for the next hour.
You know what? I've known you for quite a significant amount of time. I want to say 13 to 14 years. Years.
Absolute years.
Yeah. So
Way too long.
When I think of anyone involved, because obviously I used to host events, I used to manage bands, I used to be involved in that kind of that genre of local industry, and anytime I think of anyone now who's still kind of throwing heavy punches, you're one of the top names on that list that I think of. He's still around, he still knows his stuff, he's still a reliable source of information.
Still haven't grown up.
Yeah, well, it comes a time. There's no rush. But
Never grow up. Peter Pan land.
Peter Pan, yeah. But I think testament of your involvement in would you call it rock music?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of genres.
The sweaty moshers. Like.
Yeah.
We love it. We love being a sweaty mosher. The Grebos. We're all a fucking Grebo, man. Like, we all love it.
Hey, listen, I've got a friend, James Meads. I've suggested to him he should release a fitness video, mosh yourself skinny. Because as a teenager, he was slightly chubby, and then in his adult years, he was just ripped and shredded purely from moshing and going to gigs and
just getting the mosh bit, bro.
Yeah,
it's definitely a testosterone-filled experience. Getting and just pushing people around. It's
it is. It's a certain like don't wear your best clothes because you might be coming home with ripped t-shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
But yeah, the testament to your involvement with so many bands, right? I've actually written 3 lists of bands that I've done my research. I've looked you up on Instagram, Facebook, your website. I've identified the individuals and bands involved. So let me reel these off real quick. So bands that you've filmed music videos for.
Yeah.
Okay. Memory Palace, Edit the Tides, Love Letter, Idle Minds, Love on Loan, Strange Company, False Love, Dione, Our Last Goodbye, and even your own band, Glass Heart.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a few bands that I've missed off there.
I think, maybe.
Yeah. But we'll get to why I couldn't find them later.
A couple that are cooking as well. But they wouldn't be out yet. Yeah, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
The work is never done, bro. Like there's always something. There's always something going on.
That's what I love about content. The fact that even if you do produce something, tomorrow is another day. You just have to keep getting at it.
Multiple things at a time. Yeah, it's one of them.
There's bands that you've done promotional photo shoots for.
Yeah.
Jaws of Life, Struggler Band, Memory Palace again, Ignite Maze, Night Lives, Our Last Goodbye again.
Yeah.
And again, I'm certain there's many bands that I've failed to kind of add to this list.
Yeah.
Purely because if I had gone any further into your history of both media and music.
Oh, you're forever.
Yeah, definitely.
You're ages.
But not only do you do promotional photo shoots, not only do you do music videos, but you also do live event photography.
Yes.
With the likes of Continents, Holding Absence, The Blackout, Funeral for a Friend, Kill the Lights, Self-Deception, Normandy, Dream State, Thornhill, and honestly, so much more.
Yeah.
And you do corporate photography and videography.
Yeah.
And weddings.
Yeah.
And you've recently, I'm going to keep going. And you've recently been published in Men's Health magazine.
Indeed, yeah.
And you've recently come off tour with As December Falls, providing media support.
Yeah. A couple of bits going on, mate.
All of
Nice,
that,
easy life, man.
yeah, all of that has been in the past 12 to 15 months.
I'd say most of that's been in the last 12.
Yeah, last 12 months.
Primarily in the last since February, I think.
Well, yeah. What have I missed?
I don't know. Like, it's just so much in it. Like, it's beyond.
Okay, okay. Because again, like you said, there's stuff coming out. There's stuff that I have missed. I'll tell you why I've missed stuff, and I feel like this might be something that you can take away with you on your website
Yeah.
where it advertises music videos. I feel like there should be a better like system identifying who you've done music videos for,
Yeah.
because that
It's just kind of like a reel at the moment. It's one of the things that, because I've been, as you've listed out, I've been so busy with doing
so busy.
this, that, and the other, promo shoot for this one. I got a music video, maybe I've got like a corporate video I'm doing, getting clips out for. The website sort of, gets updated and it goes by the wayside for months.
Mm.
So yeah, I want to update the website and give it a bit more like as you've listed out. When you were listing it out, I was like, yeah, that's quite a lot actually.
It's
You
it's a
don't realize
lot.
when you're in
It's
the
a
midst
lot.
of it really.
And
But yeah, it is.
the thing is, a lot of these names are not small names by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Continents, Holding Absence, even Glass Heart, your own band, Memory Palace, they're killing it. I've seen a lot of stuff from False Love.
I fucking love Boss Love.
Yeah.
Their music is sick.
Yeah,
So
man.
good. And they're like great boys. Like every time we get on shoot with False Love, like they're just comedians, bro. Like honest to God, they're just funny as. The same with with a lot of the bands that I've done a lot of work with. Edit the Tide. They're all great guys, all really funny. Hang out with Ben quite a lot. Memory Palace. That's just Rachel's hilarious on shoot. Like, and just anyway. So yeah, good relationship with a lot of the bands that I work with, which is really nice.
That is what it seems like. Back when I used to manage bands a very long time ago, one of the difficulties that I had was that in a band you can have upwards of 4, 5, 6 members,
Mm,
and so as an artist manager, you're not putting out one fire, you're putting out 6 fires. Sometimes not all at the same time, sometimes at the same time,
yeah.
and that can be very, very demanding. It can be an issue when it comes to things like conflicts with creative decisions and things like that.
Yeah.
What do you prefer when working on music videos and photo shoots? Do you prefer a band that all comes in together like unified and monotone and just very mechanical in how they work, or do you prefer the bands that are very diverse, very energetic?
I think that when the kind of music videos that I do are not massive productions. There's not a lot of budget. So I think, for a band to come in and be like, we want exactly this thing,
Okay,
but
okay.
the thing that they want is a While She Sleeps video that had like thousands and thousands of pounds worth of budget. And then we're
Yeah.
asking me to do it with no sort of, no location budget, no production budget for
No,
lighting
yeah,
and stuff.
okay, okay.
That can be a lot more challenging to try and I have to discuss and be like, look, it's not going to come out exactly the way that you envision it, but we're going to do the best with what we have available.
When you have those discussions, is it one discussion or are you discussing it 4 different times between 4 different
I mean, it's
members?
usually I have a WhatsApp with the band, so like but
Sweet. Okay.
ahead of a photo shoot, like I'll write out like a day sheet. This is what it's gonna, So when we're going through, what's our inspirations for the shoot? What kind of look are we going for?
Okay.
Then I will have the discussion. Then be like, this at the end of the day, it's I'm not like providing a service. I'm creating a visual. I'm creating art for the client.
A
Do you know what I
bespoke
mean?
visual, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it's not gonna look exactly like I think his name is it Aaron Ramsey, the guy from While She Sleeps, the
Rings
bassist.
a bell, but
Yeah.
I'd have to look that up.
So
Yeah.
the whatever the name of the guy from While She Sleeps is the bassist, his stuff's quality. It's not going to look exactly like his work or whatever. It's going to look like my work, but
That's right.
with
Yeah.
your vision. Do you
Yeah.
mean so? And we work together and plan the day to try and get things together. And I'm very open to change and you know diversify what's happening and make it look sick.
Do you think that you have fair rates? Like, do you think your rates for your media stuff is fair, or would you do you think you should charge more?
I definitely think that I should charge more. I think for what I do and the work that goes into it, just the day itself, like compare myself to a lot of the video people out there. But I think, because I've been a musician for the last, you know, X amount of time,
Well over a decade. Well
well
over a
over a
decade.
decade.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that feels like me doing the music videos at the rates that I do is providing, giving back sort of thing, giving back.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
bands who are like, a lot of these bands who ask me to do the music videos, they're starting out as their first music video, or
Nice.
like,
Okay. Yeah.
only a couple in. So, a lot of it is like, I'm trying to sort them out because, they could be the next Funeral for a Friend, Kids in Glass Houses,
That's
and
it.
then suddenly I'm
That's
up
it.
with
Yeah.
them, and,
Yeah.
that's when you start to be, it's the fruit of your labor. Then, like, I feel like I'm very, like, at the start of my journey, really.
Okay.
um so it's,
I feel this. I feel very similar. I feel the very same way about a lot of the rap artists I work with. Just on things like consultation and stuff like that. Any advice and support that I can give them, if they do manage to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit of attention comes my way, I can lay claim to that. I can say,
yeah,
yeah, I helped. I helped.
you know
But I certainly know that there's a point where I'm throwing, I'm throwing good money after bad. I'm kind of giving support to a pursuit that's it's not going to happen, and that's where I have to start introducing my fees and my charges and start
yeah.
saying sorry. I have to treat you like a regular client because you're not giving me what I want out of it.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a line of like, I think like whenever you do something, you set your rate, and like every time that I do my work, I do try and go above and beyond
Definitely, yeah,
for
definitely,
that rate.
definitely.
But like, I think that's sort of a relative scale. So if you've charged X amount, that extra bit, if you were charging less, would be less,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
get me.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
you definitely need to account for your time and
Definitely,
the
yeah,
the
yeah.
editing and whatever goes into it. And I do try and do that as low and as fair as possible for, especially like the local bands. Try and keep it as low as possible because, at the end of the day, they're trying to like absolutely churn out music, do it. They're trying to do these music videos every time to get out into
Yes.
the world and
Yeah,
get into touring. So
yeah.
when there's more budget for production and there's more work involved, then hopefully I'll be the guy that they call is the thought process, really.
Do you ever reach out to these clients, or do these clients reach out to you?
A lot of the time they reach out to me. I don't really do a lot of
Nice. Okay.
outreaching. It's something that I definitely need to do.
Do you?
Um,
I mean, if
yeah.
you've got clients coming to you, do you need to approach
I mean,
clients?
it's kind of one of them things. It's feast or famine, really. Like sometimes I'll be absolutely sculled with work, and like I'm doing like 16-hour
Yeah.
days. I haven't left my house in 4 days. Kind of just sat in front of Premiere Pro or Lightroom or whatever.
Oh, I hate it.
But
Yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah.
I'll have like recently, I went on tour for, well, I went on a holiday for a week, went to Rome, did a tour for a week, and then I came back and I had shoots every day for 8 days. And like since then, like it's kind of, I've had like a shoot or two a week. And like, although that's like sort of comfortable for me,
Okay.
it's I'm kind of like, I I'm better when I'm absolutely sculling it.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
happier when I'm sculling it. It's
Do you not ever experience things like burnout?
I was thinking about this earlier because I thought you may bring it up, and it's sort of like yes and no. It's
Okay.
like I feel more burnt out when I haven't got a lot of work on. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like that
Okay.
when the fire's going and the work's coming in, like I'm fueling the fire, but then the fire goes out when I'm quiet. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I can't. There's no way I can do that. Every time I edit a podcast episodes, even though it's for myself, even though it's for my own benefit,
Yeah,
I I convince myself that I'll catch up on all of the other client work that I want to do, or I'll jump straight into something else. That's not true. I need at least a day or two just to kind of like detach from the computer, step away, and just kind of like bring myself back to zero. So that for the next thing, I'm not still blinded by the last thing I had in my mind. But that's just me personally.
yeah.
Everybody creates different things,
I need
and
to work every day.
yeah, yeah.
Today, like obviously I'm doing this today, but like I've actually got a day off.
You showed
I've
me,
got nothing.
yeah, I was quite surprised. You showed me a calendar, and I was like, "Oh my god, am I ever gonna get a chance to interview Nathan?" If, I was quite
And
lucky with today.
that was quite like I sent it to you. I was like, oh, he probably thinks that I just don't fucking do anything.
No,
Like,
no, no. I
he's
saw.
interviewing the wrong fucking guy.
I could see that there was things on near enough every single day, and I was like, no, no. These are legitimate things that are in diaries. This isn't just a.
I didn't really think you'd
I
pick up on that, to be
no, no,
honest.
no.
I
I
just
get
let it
it. I
over
get
like, oh,
it.
you're in my 3 days. Like,
No, no, no. I get it. I get it. I truly, truly like there are days where I'll wake up and I'll write a to-do list, and I might only get one or two things done on that to-do list. But
mm,
looking back on it, those were pretty significant things.
yeah,
So I completely get it. Anyone that has at least one thing in their to-do list, I'm never gonna say, well, that's not important. That's insignificant. So
yeah.
time is time. Time is time.
Time is time.
Time is time.
Finite.
I
You're gonna
mean,
ask me,
there's so
bro.
many different directions I can come at this from. You've given me so much to work with. You released a post on 8th of January this year,
Jesus. Here you go.
yeah, announcing that as of 7th of January, you were going to be jumping into photography and videography full time.
Yes.
How has that been for you?
It's good. Yeah, there's your answer. It's good. No, it was a bit of a weird one. So I bought my Sony A7 III in April of 23.
Okay, all right.
April of 23. And that's when I started doing the photography part-time and started putting myself out there, started covering some corporate events, started working with bands. That was like when it like not when I started learning how to use a camera, but when I was like, right, I'm gonna start fucking doing this now. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I've made a decision. I hate my job. I was working in a finance company dealing with the car complaints, and I was
Oh, right,
like,
okay.
I need to 0121 do on this job.
Yeah.
This is doing my head in. So I started working on the photography thing, started building up the photography side. The camp house was already a thing by this
Yeah,
point,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which started in COVID. I started doing graphic design.
Well, Camp House is a brand. It is your brand.
Yeah,
It is a thing that you make money from.
yeah.
Definitely, the brand Camp House has been there, and I think that anyone who's seen your work sees the name Camp House. They don't need to look. Hopefully, they don't need to look into it. They
It's
know.
me, like
Oh, it's Campfield. Let's go in.
camp field, camp house,
Yeah,
job done.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember where I was now.
So you were saying that you bought your Sony A7
Yeah,
III.
yeah. So Boy Sony did that for a little bit, and then the whole plan was April 24. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump into this now. It seemed that I was earning enough to sort of you know I wasn't paying rent at the time. I was living with my mum again, so I was like, oh, I'll just jump into it, build it up, and then when I'm ready, I'm ready. Um, in comes as December falls. Man named Andy Hunter was a guitarist. Said, "Oh, we're going on tour in February.
Okay.
We need someone to do merch." And I was
Okay.
like, sick. I was like, and he's like, oh, it's like 2 weeks, sorted out the day rate. Do you want to do it? And I was like, they jumped at the chance. So I was like, absolutely, I'm coming, whatever. Like the
For
chance.
so it started as merch, but they were discussing day rates for media stuff.
No, so it started off just merch. Right.
Okay.
So, and like, I know these December Falls guys because Glass Heart toured with them in 2022 when they
Yeah.
toured their Happier album.
Yeah.
So we've been like besties with them for ages. In the
Nice.
October before, Sam from Glass Art did drums for them, covering for Key Run. So we've always been quite tight in for them. Their merch person dropped out, and they needed someone, so I did that Normandy tour.
Why you?
Just because I was speaking to Andy at the time, I was like, "I'll do merch," and he was like, "Yeah, go on, man."
So they trusted you to like look after merchandise and money and stuff. Like
Yeah, yeah,
they knew you were competent to do the job.
yeah, yeah,
Decent.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. No. Fine. If
yeah.
get someone you
Like
know, definitely.
I was speaking to Andy literally about 2 weeks ago when I was up his after we did Made of Stone Festival. I was
Nice.
staying at
Yeah. Yeah.
the Hunter residence,
I
and
I've seen the reel on Instagram. So sick.
oh, thanks, bro.
So sick. Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, obviously, when we first did that initial thing, he was a bit sort of, oh, I don't know, like, is he like he took a risk and like it just sort of birthed this fantastic relationship that we now have.
Okay.
And it was from that tour. So there was one day that we were in Budapest, Hungary,
Yeah.
and there was a merch concession. So the venue were running the merch, and I had nothing to do.
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh, what am I going to do?"
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, of
I'm
course,
like a
yeah, yeah,
productive guy. I need to
yeah,
do things.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I'll just do you
Good,
like a
yeah.
highlight reel from today on my phone." So if you scroll back, there's like an orange. This would be the first ADF video on there where I just filmed it all on my iPhone and I
Okay.
edited it in Premiere and tried to make it look cool.
Which iPhone?
It's 13 Pro.
Nice. Okay. All right.
13
Yeah,
Pro with a cracked lens. So I
yeah.
filmed it on that, and obviously I posted it the next day, and then
Okay.
that was it. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, can you start doing this?
Yeah.
Getting getting this content every day." So it went from me doing merch to me just doing that, and that's
Yeah.
that's now what I do for that band is
That was amazing. Like I did wonder what kind of equipment you took with you on that tour
yeah,
because I
phone,
phone. Yeah. What
iPhone.
what about laptop? Because you said you edited it in Premiere.
Yeah, yeah. So I took my laptop anyway. I had my laptop with me anyway because I had to do the
Nice.
the merch numbers.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was taking
And it's
hand
it's it's an
tweaks.
important piece of equipment. You
Yeah,
know.
I needed it for my because I was still like by that point I was doing music videos for bands. I was still doing the photo stuff anyway.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
that was I dived in to do the merch. That was just sort of like the straw that broke the camel's back. Really, I was like, I'll do this tour, and
nice.
then I'll do the photography, videography full time when I come back from that tour.
Okay.
But then it turned out to me doing the
The
videography
video.
for ADF
Yeah.
full time, and they call me their vibe tech. Keep their vibes good. Yeah.
Nice, nice. No, that was good. So you managed to kind of do all of the media for them, but also the other media for your other clients as well. Like
Yeah, I
you
try to cap everything off before I go on
of
like
course,
a
yeah, yeah,
tour,
yeah,
just
yeah.
because it's not so much like the time to do the editing, but like trying to upload anything on a venue's Wi-Fi is absolutely dog. Like,
I think it would borderline be inappropriate as well to kind of like be doing another client's work while you're doing, you know,
yeah,
another client's work.
I
But
think that there's enough time, especially if you're shit, if you're like traveling, especially like on a
if you're
bus.
good at it.
If you like you do have spare time in the day to do whatever. So if you need to pick up other work when you're out on the road, like it is doable.
Okay,
It's a long old fucking day, but
okay.
like
Because I'm planning a tour for Merkage right now.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he's planning a Wales exclusive tour. We're looking at 10 dates, and in the last week of it, where we're doing the further away dates, Aberystwyth,
yeah,
Narberth, Bangor, Wrexham. I'm planning it, and we're not going to be coming back to Newport on those nights. We're gonna be away. I'm gonna need to make sure that I've got the things with me that I need. And in terms of media coverage, I can do that fine. But when it comes to kind of like managing that media coverage while I'm away, such as my laptop, hard drives, things like that,
mm,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm
yeah.
excited. So,
Be good, man. Be fine.
what kind of experiences has tour given you? How has it helped develop you as a person, but as a creator as well?
I think like the tour. Like obviously, I've done up to this year. I've done touring. Like me and the Glass Art Boys. We've done you know a couple of tours. Got a couple of tours under our belt. But doing it as a media creator, it's definitely pocketing time, and for you to it's just managing time. So for you to be able to enjoy it to your fullest, like again, when I'm out with ADF, like and me and Andy like love a drink. Like every like the whole the
I've-
whole day.
There's pictures,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole day directs towards when we're having a pint and where the
Okay,
nearest bar is. Do you know what I mean?
nice.
So like we'll get the show done, have a beer, and but that what that means, like normally photographers and videographers will sort of do the show and edit in the night.
Yeah.
With which is hanging, right? But
Yeah.
so I'll usually do the edit in the morning after. I'll get up, get straight onto the edit, and spend a couple of hours doing it there.
I think I would prefer that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know,
just means you can like once you're done, you can pack all your equipment away, have a beer, have a chill out, and like hang out with these guys are my friends, man. So
of
like
course, yeah.
it's important to leave a bit of time where you can just hang out and just have a laugh, sort of thing.
Okay. What kind of equipment are you using for your shoots at the moment? I know you've mentioned Sony A7 III,
Yeah,
and you use a Sony A7 III. Shannon from Photos by Shan uses a Sony A7 uses A7 III.
I was with her on Saturday.
She's amazing. She's fantastic.
Absolutely incredible photographer.
Obviously, we've done a little interview already.
You've done an interview with Shannon, have
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. She was fantastic. She was
Yeah,
so delightful and
yeah.
like
I was
just
speaking to her yesterday about an ND filter.
well,
How
that's
boring.
it. Yeah, she no, wait. It's not boring though because it's us. Like it's
Yeah, it's good.
creatives. We're like, oh yeah, let's
I love it.
She uses a Sony.
Yeah,
My mate David Inson from Formless Films, he uses a Sony. I'm seeing so many people use Sonys right now.
class. That's why.
Am I in the wrong for using Canon?
Yeah, no, no. I think that a big reason why a lot of people are using Sony is because of the price point and what they provide. I think Canon are catching up. The fact that you can use
Yeah.
your like Canon, I believe, have now started accepting third-party lenses. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
Sony have been doing that. Like you've got your Sigmas, your Tamrons, your Samyangs that you can just put on your Sony. So that's
yeah,
a big
yeah.
selling point. Um, so I just like the reason I chose Sony to begin with. I had a Canon 7D,
Oh, okay.
maybe
All right. Yeah.
like the
Okay.
old
Okay.
mirrored one.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And then I moved to the Sony, and the only reason I got the Sony is because Adam Ross using the Sony. I was like, oh, his stuff is great. Do you mean I'm gonna get a Sony as well? So
yeah. Okay.
that's what I got, and then I came to realize when I started using it that it's not all in the body; it's in like the lenses and what you actually having skill to do it and knowing the situation and what you need. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You were literally saying this just before the episode started. Can you remember the phrase that you said?
all the gear, no idea.
All gear, no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. Like it's something my university lecturer Fez taught me was the best camera you've got is the camera closest to you.
oh yeah,
So even if you can't lug, because equipment can be heavy. If you put some equipment in a backpack, you're gonna get tired at some point.
yeah,
So if you learn to use things like your smartphone, which have
yeah.
made massive improvements, the best camera you've got is what's available to you.
Yeah,
So
well, that's exactly the reason why I'm doing the stuff for ADF now is, because I had, that time off and I was able to use my camera and my
yeah,
laptop and do that highlight reel the one day, you know what I mean? So,
do you feel like the media content you do is a lot of it word of mouth? Like, do you receive new clients who have seen the stuff that you've done for other people?
yeah, I like a lot of especially like corporate stuff, it's a lot of word of mouth and like recommendations. Like,
Okay.
I've had a couple of recommendations from the studio that Glassheart use for music videos. Like, yeah, a lot of it is, oh, check this guy out. We've worked with him before, and being personable as well. Like people will work with you again just because you're a great person to work with. You're a good time.
Intimate
You make people feel
relationships and yeah,
comfortable.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely, definitely,
and
definitely.
then like you know because being a photographer, I think a lot of people think of, oh, you think of a photographer and think of this really awkward experience of being in front of a lens. So to have someone who's like, makes you feel comfortable on the other side of it, that
Yeah,
comes
no,
first rather than
y-
the work itself. I think. I
yeah,
mean, you can't be shit, but like you have to have that side as well of making people feel comfortable and being personable.
there's definitely a lot of people skills involved
Yeah.
in media production, loads and loads and loads.
Oh hell
Because,
yeah.
like you were saying earlier, a client might come to you with one idea, but it might be a case of where you need to kind of readjust that idea and explain it to
Mm.
them. So yeah, one of the things I did want to ask is how much of it is people skills, where you have to kind of get your client on your level to be able to explain the idea back to them. Like how much of it is people skills?
I mean, a lot of the job is people skills. I mean, even down to like gaining work in the beginning. Like I do this networking event. I'm doing it tomorrow. This young professionals event, and you
Young
need to,
professionals, okay.
yeah. So you need to be um, personable and learn how to speak to people, and just like I'm quite outgoing, but I'm also quite an awkward guy anyway. But
Nate, you sound like you've always been
it
someone
kind of
who
works, I suppose.
you
It's
give
me in
and
it. Joking.
you give and take. You give and take. I've never ever felt like your ideas or your suggestions are domineering or forceful in any way.
Yeah.
But at the
Thank you.
same time, you are on hand to kind of give that feedback and
Yeah.
reciprocate ideas and suggestions.
I think being honest, like be honest with your client and be honest with
Yeah,
yourself as well.
yeah,
Like I'm
yeah.
not like my girlfriend gives me a hard time when I'm not like I don't know the way it's not self-hating. I
Um,
am definitely self-critical, but I'm not.
Self-destructive.
No, it's like when you're really
That's
when you're really really critical of yourself, but in a bad way. Like I'm definitely like
oh,
self-critical and task critical.
pedantic.
Maybe.
Maybe like picky for
Like for example,
excessively picky.
I'll show her something that I've done, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I could,
This can be better. This can be better. I could
yeah,
do
yeah."
this
I'm like,
better
"Oh,
next time. And
And then
then
she's like, "Oh, why don't you just like appreciate yourself?" And I'm like every time I say this to a lot of my clients. So like when I do a shoot day,
okay.
every single time I'm like, I'm fucking shit at this. These photos are awful. And then I'll get to the edit and I go, oh, they're not too bad.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then I'll deliver the photos and wait a week and I'll go back and look at them. I'm like, fuck, this is some of my best work. Like,
yeah. I've done that. I've
you
done that.
know,
I've taken shoots and I just leave them on my computer and then I go back and I actually put the time in to edit them properly
mm,
and I'm like, oh my god, I've let this client down. And yeah,
it's
I
the curse of it, man. It's
yeah.
the curse of being the curse of being a creator.
Creative, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like you hate your art, like, and it's so disgusting. Like, why?
I don't hate it. I just no, you're right. You're right. I think that being constructively critical of yourself
Yeah,
is a good way to go, especially in such a competitive environment where
I think you just like because when you do the shoot, you edit the photos, you have your blinders on. So I think
certainly, yeah,
coming away from the computer and
yeah,
then coming back to it is really important
yeah.
instead of just being like tunnel vision with it. And I just hate it and I don't understand why. Give yourself like an hour, go back to it and be like, oh, this is why I hate it, or oh no, I think I'm just being a bit of a dick
And
to myself.
I think this is where kind of burnout comes into it as well. That if your client lets you step away from a project to refresh yourself so you can come back to it, if the client isn't pressed by a deadline, you can potentially create work that is twice as good than
Oh yeah, yeah.
if you were rushing and trying to get it done.
I think there's a thing that's on TikTok is that the triangle. So you can have something that's fast
Fast
and
and
cheap,
yeah,
but it
yeah,
can't be
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You can have something good and fast, but it can't be cheap, sort of thing.
yeah,
So like,
and good
yeah,
and cheap, but not fast.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
for sure.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Where do you see Camphouse Media going?
I think I'm gonna continue cutting my teeth doing what I'm doing for a while.
Nice.
I definitely need to build up my skill set, build up my gear.
I love that phrase,
Um,
cutting teeth. I
yeah,
love that phrase.
just gotta keep on just doing what I'm doing, keep
Yeah.
on exploring different options. I do have sort of ideas and inspiration to grow the business. I'm gonna go my business and grow my
Yeah.
business into more of a production company. There's a couple of different avenues
Nice. Okay.
uh, where I would like to go down.
Bring the producers in and kind of like you sit back and put on a suit and tie, be like, I am Camphouse
I
Media.
am
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
campus. Yeah. No,
I'm never leaving.
I, I'd like obviously I just want to build something that you know a load of creators and people
No, no,
who are
definitely, definitely.
creatives, and there's a couple of different things that I would like to go. I just don't know which route to take. Like
Okay.
when I get to that crossroads and think, do I want to be shooting and editing every single day? No, I need to build something a bit bigger, which is a bit more, you know, more of an expensive thing. Like hire the company in for like a
I
couple
think about
couple of
that.
grand,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
we'll do one or two a week, and it's more working on a project with people rather than just trying to do everything myself.
I have those considerations myself. I don't see myself doing very small scale stuff regularly
Yeah,
into the future because they will come a point where I'm too old, I'm too tired, I'm too busy to do those things, you know? So the plan for me is to kind of monetize the YouTube channel, get the podcasts so flowing freely that they're completely effortless. But aside from that, I want to kind of bring in apprentices and stuff to kind of pass skills onto them and
yeah,
pass potentially contacts onto them so
yeah.
that they can do the work. They benefit from the opportunities and the stable income. But at the same time, brands keep growing and developing and things like
Yeah.
that. So awesome. Okay.
I do have an idea of trying like get like a big pool of like photographers in South Wales and maybe beyond, and this sort of like work allocation sort of deal. which is
There's certainly little things like that happening already. I know Tappen Bat from Wolfget Media, he's done something similar already. So
okay.
he's got a little WhatsApp group, and he's kind of pulled photographers in from various stuff.
Yeah,
And so what that allows him to do is any weddings that he does, because he focuses predominantly on weddings,
couldn't do that.
he's
Brave man.
able to scale the teams depending on the size of the wedding. So if the client wants everything covered at every moment, he's able to kind of pull from that pool of photographers.
Yeah,
And it's good for them because they get the opportunities, they get to learn skills, they get a little bit of money in their pocket,
and then
so
he's got this big team with him, which makes his life easier.
yeah, but I think at the same time, everybody's still got their own freedom to kind of go off and do their own stuff as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely things that start being put together, and I think the advantage that you would have if that was something that you were going to do is the intimate relationships that you have got with all of these
mm,
established bands. You know,
yeah,
if I was in your shoes and I was going to take this further, I would keep pursuing the big names, the big bands who are already hitting the tours and stuff, but also again handpicking those bands in the local area who are coming through and potentially being the next thing. That is an asset and resource that you have that no one else has. You can't copy and paste that.
yeah.
You
That's down to what last decade in music. Do you mean like even just at the scale that I've been doing it, which is such a drop in the pond in comparison to like some of the bands I've been working with over the last 6 months.
Okay.
Such a drop in the pond, but like them contacts have really not even just like the contacts, like the bigger names that you've mentioned, but also just the local promoters, the venues, like the recording studios in Wales. All of these
Yeah.
people have helped build my business.
I think the sad part about that is that things like that can come and go. We've seen venues come and go, we've seen
Yeah.
promoters come and go, we've seen studios come and go,
But a
and
lot of the people do stay the same.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of the like, for example,
you
like
are proof.
yeah,
You are
like
proof.
I'm still here, you're still here. I was speaking to well, bloody Rob Bishop used to be the guy for Cardiff
No
for the smaller
way.
shows. He's still
Okay.
going. He's doing photography now.
Will
Um,
Sheldon still going?
Sheldon's in Bunkhouse now. Obviously, you've got Phil.
Phil Cross. Yeah.
Phil's Continents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's still a lot of really serious heads from who have been doing it for 10 plus years,
yeah,
and they're still going today, and they still are.
yeah. Because they're ingrained in the South Wales scene. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Oh
so.
yeah, 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 definitely,
When it
definitely.
comes to like the band stuff, then the contacts are there from over the years of being in bands
Do
and
you
everything else.
do you think that the band scene is healthier now than it was 10 years ago, or is it changed? Is it different?
I definitely think it's changed. I think if we look at when me and the boys were starting in Breathing the Silence, like
Yeah.
the landscape then to the landscape now is completely different, and that's just down to well the internet really.
Sweet. Are you ready? Are you
I'm
good to go? Are you
fucking ready. Yeah, let's
happy
go.
days?
Round two.
Campus Mendes.
Do you want to do some clap? Give me a clap.
Yeah, big clap to know where I am. Nice. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, so we're back. There was a quick technical error where the camera overheated, but we are in the middle of summer. It is very astonishingly hot, so I'm not going to take blame for it. We've
Never
come
take
back.
the blame.
Yeah, we've come back from a little break. Nathan,
Yeah.
I've
Hello again.
yeah, hello.
Yeah.
I've been asking you about Camphaus Media. I'm very satisfied with my questions and the answers you've given me. I would like to pick your brain on Glass Heart.
Boys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are the guitarist for Glass Heart.
Indeed.
The other members of the band are Adam Rossi, Jake Bowen, Samuel Gibbs.
Yeah. So we got Adam Rossi, which is his photo video persona, but his name is Adam Ross.
Oh,
Adam Ross Williams, Jake Bowen on bass, and Sam Gibbs on drums.
okay. Are they good eggs? Are they all right?
Nah, bunch of arseholes. Nah, yeah, fucking my best mates here.
Sweet.
The boys. Yeah.
Okay.
Our group chat is called the boys because there's
Because you go around murdering superheroes.
yeah.
Nice. Okay. Have you seen season 4 yet?
I've never seen. I don't really watch TV. I'm too
Oh,
busy editing photos.
too busy making TV, right? I got it.
Too busy
Okay.
editing photos and making music.
Nice. Okay. So the Facebook page says that you guys were established in July 2019,
Indeed.
but then 8 months later was the global COVID pandemic.
Oh yeah, big
But
time.
that didn't seem to stop you guys from writing and releasing music.
Well, at the time, so yeah, it was July 2019. We were like, right, we released our first single. How many times can we say goodbye? And then we released another single called Treading Water. And then, as we know what happened then, it was the world
I'm
came to a
treading
standstill. A little bit of
water.
COVID happened. And then, yeah, we had two in the bank ready for to be released. So we
Okay.
released Dark and Another Day
Okay.
during COVID, and then during the breaks that we had, and we were able to do another couple of music videos and release In Opposite by the end of it. So
Amazing,
yeah,
fantastic. I mean, the band does seem to have developed a significant following. Just looking at the numbers that you guys have got already, 4.2 thousand on Facebook,
yeah,
3.3 thousand on Instagram already.
oh, sound.
Decent. Yeah, no, it's
How bloody
good.
doing
It's
it?
good. I mean, there's other bands out there who have been going on, almost as long with a fraction of that.
It's just testament to the hard work the boys have put
That's
in,
that's
and
it. Yeah, testament to the popularity and things like that. No, it's my phone went off at the same time as well. So
I don't understand how it's done that in airplane mode.
I.
Wow.
Okay,
Sorry
so
about that.
the last releases from Glass Hearts were 2 years ago.
No, so the last release, as in
Sorry, EP releases.
yeah,
Sorry.
last EP release was our EP called Weathered. Since then, we have released a couple of tracks. So we released a track called Colorblind, and
You have,
also a
yep.
track called Letting Go, which was October last year,
Yes.
I believe.
Okay. Okay. My mistake. I'm the worst for it. Anytime there's just a single released, I acknowledge it, but I never. I like.
It's not in the back catalog when you look through, is it? It's sort of like it's the in between.
Yeah, I'm reluctant. Like I've been hurt in the past. I'm reluctant to buy singles only to then go and buy the album with the
Yeah,
same singles on it.
that's
And
fair.
so I like to try
He's
and
been
wait.
burnt.
Yeah, Sleep Heart. I bought four singles and then they released the album and all four singles were still on there. And Sleep Heart, Sleep Token.
Sleep Hard Man.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Glass Token. My favorite band.
Yeah, everybody's, yeah. I bought Steve Token's music. I mean they're a sick band, so what can we expect from Glassheart going forward? Is there anything you can tell us?
Well, by the time this is out, we would have released a single called "Worst Part of Me," which I tried showing you earlier, but I didn't have Wi-Fi. I have it now.
I'll
So
check it out
that
after, yeah.
is out on the 5th of August, and there is more music to come.
Oh wow, okay. So 5 days away then.
Yeah,
Sweet. Okay, awesome, brilliant. Just the song or is there a music video as well?
there will be a visualizer.
Did you and Adam do the videos?
Me and Rossi went down Barry in the middle of the night and recorded him dancing around for a bit with some lights, and that's going to be our visualizer. Yeah.
Nice.
So something nice and simple, lots of slow shutter stuff, but yeah, we do all the visuals ourselves.
Is having two media producers in the band an advantage for the band?
I mean, for sure, for like we were having this conversation the other day. It's good and bad. Like if it's like, oh, we've got something coming up, and we need to smash out a music video for it. One of us can do it, but what we have is, we do have creative differences. So like
Okay.
as we have with the music, like, oh, I don't know if that riff works. Don't it's now the same with the video. So
So it's
we
it's
have
double the problem.
yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
although it's like twice the solution, it's twice the problem as well. So we
Okay.
now have this creative. Oh, I think this should go this way, and we can get really in the nitty gritty of it. So, realistic, I think we want to get to the point where like we've done it enough that we can sort of outsource it, and then make it someone else's problem.
Yeah, neutralize any disagreements
Yeah,
between you both.
exactly, exactly. And like when you're doing your own creative stuff, you spend so much fucking time on it, like so much time just getting
Yeah.
the little things right, which is great from like a creative perspective, but at the same time, it can really hinder your progress when we've both got our directions in our careers as media producers, and then the band is another avenue of a creative release musically for us. So to
Yeah.
do both at the same time can be both rewarding and make things done quicker. Like photo shoots, we haven't had a photo shoot with a photographer for ages because we just set it up on a tripod and go for it.
Just do it
Yeah,
yourselves.
just
Yeah,
do it
no,
ourselves because
absolutely. Yeah,
it
yeah.
saves cost and we've got full creative control. But in another thing, it does slow us down because we've got like this back and forth that me and Adam have, and it's a healthy thing. It's just because we want the best for our band, but
That's a very interesting thing for you to say. Like I honestly wouldn't have thought that having multiple media producers would have been an issue for for something that depends on media content.
yeah.
But
It's
the
just
fact
more than one chef stirring the broth, isn't it? So, or whatever the stirring the pot, whatever,
yeah, no, that's
whatever the
absolutely, yeah,
saying
yeah,
is.
yeah,
I'm crap with analogies today, bro. Is that bloody no gear, no idea,
yeah,
whatever I just butchered? I haven't
yeah.
got a clue.
I think it's the heat. It's the summer heat.
Yeah,
We're both dying to get outside and just chill and cool down.
yeah.
Okay, so what about things like performances going forward for the band? Can we expect to see you guys anywhere?
Yeah, so we're performing on, I believe it's the 10th of August, Saturday 10th of August. We're going to be playing Chepstow Castle with Holding Absence, Casey and Caskets. So we're opening up that show, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal. After that, we are looking to get out there a bit more, maybe a headline run or a tour, or maybe just a one-off show in the hometown. But
That's gonna be quite a big show. That's gonna be quite a really big show. Holding Absence, like they're doing absolutely phenomenal.
I think it's 1200.
Chepstow Castle,
Yeah,
amazing. Okay,
it's going to be sick.
I particularly like the part where you guys have got a song called Caskets, and Caskets have got a song called Glass Heart.
Now, let me so put let me put context this. So we don't have a song called Caskets.
No, no.
What you found was
Okay.
my April Fool's post.
Oh,
So
okay.
like obviously we've been a band since 2019. We're very friendly with the boys in Caskets, right?
Yeah.
And they released a song called Glass Heart, which is like one of the songs that did the best.
Did they
And
do it in reference to you guys, or is it
no,
just
there's no
pure
reference to us.
coincidence?
It was
Right. Okay.
it was pure coincidence. But yeah, song's a banger. The boys are sick. So I plan a April Fool's thing every year. So the year prior, I was like, I put up on Facebook something like, "Oh, we're changing our name to Glass Hearts because
Oh, I remember seeing.
everyone guessed if everyone guessed it fucking wrong." So I was like, "All right, I need to top that next year," and I was like, "I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna." So I got their artwork and I photoshopped it and swapped the names round. So instead of Caskets releasing Glass Art, it was Glass Art releasing Caskets.
That's funny.
And like, fortunately, it went down really well. They found it funny because there was a risk of, oh, they're taking the piss out of us. Let's be angry at them. But no, they were all in good
Yeah.
spirit. I
Yeah.
saw some of the guys in Slam Dunk, and they were like, "Yeah, that was funny as fuck, bro." So, so there was a little hour after I posted it where we were like, "Oh my god!" Like, has it gone down well in Caskets Camp? They all commented like, "Oh, for fuck's sake," sort of thing. So yeah,
How do you manage to balance your time between the band and Camp House Media?
I think well, it's not just the the two things really. It's balancing everything. So like I do try to allocate time to writing and more so now, but it's just day on day, bro. Like what's my workload with Camp House? Like that's pretty much like the focus for me because that's my job. That's how I pay my bills. So that does come first, and then I do try to allocate time weekly, maybe even daily, to try and like do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I find that doing one big thing is not as productive for me as just dipping into things as and when. So like for example, like this morning before I came down, maybe I'll do a little bit of editing, like I'll do an hour here and then
Yeah,
like
yeah,
do my
yeah.
day, and then when I get home tonight, maybe I'll do an hour or two then, and I sort of try and do it do it like that, where I chop things up.
What about songwriting?
Songwriting again, it's just exactly the same. Like my desk at home has my guitars next to it, and I just have to flip a screen. Like
Nice,
everything's in one place,
nice.
um,
Okay, okay,
which is
smart. Yeah.
which is a new thing now because I've recently moved in with my girlfriend. So the office space there that I've got is incredible.
Office space is important.
Yeah,
Office
I got a
space is
man
really,
cave.
really
Yeah,
important. Yeah. I speak to producers and I'm like, where do you work? Where do you do your work?
yeah,
And they're like, oh, anywhere. And I'm like, no,
yeah.
no. Where's your space that you can kind of like just reach over, grab something, and just get the stuff done? So
It's having the versatility. So like I work everything off a MacBook. So like
okay,
the way that my desk space is set up is I put my laptop down, I plug it in, and it goes to my
straight
monitor.
into this. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then
The
like
command
yeah,
center.
it
Yeah,
goes to the command center, and like everything's everything can be plugged in. All of my hard drives, my interface, like everything goes into that laptop.
nice.
Yeah, it's really important for me though with both things that I'm able to be like, right, okay, have a space where I can concentrate for hours at a time and keep on going back to it,
Okay,
comfortable space,
okay.
but be able to take that with me on the road. That's
Flexibility, like
really important.
flexibility and adaptability, and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. A lot of the podcast equipment that I've got right now, these microphones, these mic stands, the interface, my laptop, a lot of them, they're much better suited for leaving at home. These microphones by themselves can be quite heavy,
yeah.
and as you've witnessed with these
Stands.
cheap microphone stands, purely just having the balance slightly off tips them over, and
Yeah,
it's a nightmare. My next purchase will be better microphone stands to be able to produce visual content. Like it's
yeah.
but having to buy things is nuts.
Thing is, like, as soon as you do something, like, oh yeah, that looks good, you think, oh well, how can I make it better? Like,
Yeah.
I bought a I was absolutely I obsess over things. So like, I bought like a 360 camera, like a GoPro, like to get all these
I
things.
wanted to get one. Yeah, okay, all right,
Yeah,
go on.
and 360 is sick. And then I was like, oh, I need it because I shot on primes primarily for fucking ages.
Same.
And
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
I've got a 2470 G Master now.
Okay.
Um, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is sick.
What is the
Now I want a 70 to
aperture on
200.
that?
That's 2.8.
Okay, all right. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
now I've got the 2470 and I know how good that is. I'm like,
Okay.
oh well, obviously I need a 70 to 200 now. And then when I get that, no doubt I'll be like, oh yeah, but I wanna, you know,
400 to 800.
yeah. No, I want something stupid. Like my lenses at the moment, I've got an 8 mil, a 16, a 30, and a 2470.
Nice. No, those are that's a really nice little collection of glass.
Little range. I just need that big zoomy one now.
Yeah,
And
for
then
those kind of like
I'll be complete.
big festival events, and you can kind of just
Yeah.
stay at the bar at the back, take the pictures, and then just I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. What kind of things do you use the 360 and the GoPro for?
So the 360 is a bit of a weird one because it's like it's cool. So I bought this 360 now.
Okay.
This wasn't long ago that I bought it. But what I didn't realize, so I was like, oh, I'll get the newest one, so then I don't have to replace it. Turns out there's a fucking I could have bought a better one,
Okay.
which is so I got the Insta360 X4, but
Okay.
there's the Insta360 1R, which has got like a
Okay.
1 inch sensor on it.
Right. Okay.
And I
Yeah.
didn't realize that existed at the time.
What is the price difference? Is it
They're the same fucking price.
same? Okay.
But the 1R, I think it's the 1R. But that's better because obviously it's got better sensor, better in low light, and I could have just fucking bought that one. So I'm booming it. But it's great. Like I use it like drum cams. It's really good for. You can get these really cool looking like drone shots with it,
I've
with a long
seen
pole.
I've seen the video footage from Sam. I've seen Sam's is it Sam or Jake? Sam.
Sam, yeah,
Sam. I've seen Sam's YouTube channel. He's only got 2 videos on there at the moment, but he's clipped the camera to his chest.
yeah. So that was the GoPro. That was.
Okay.
That was a
Okay.
GoPro on a wide, like the 360. You can get this really weird wide, like tiny planet looking sort of deal.
Wow.
And thing is,
Okay.
you think of like I was saying this to someone the other day. You don't have to have an angle. You don't get your angle
That's what. Yeah. That's why I want to
because you can
get
just
it so I
choose it
can
after.
understand it. I don't. There's a guy, Doctor Clips, and
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
do you know? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, he shoots on a 16 mil on a gimbal.
right.
He
Okay.
doesn't shoot on a 360 cam, which I thought he
I
did.
thought he shot on the
No,
360, and then
16 mil.
he. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
this is, because I do a lot of this TikTok content for ADF,
Right.
reference Dr. Clips, and I'm going to be trying to do some sort of similar things to him with some new
People
stuff.
speak bad about him, but I really rate the direction that he's kind of taken a lot
He's
of stuff
sick.
in. Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
his style.
yeah. Like he's
Dr. Clips done it again.
it's really really clever. I follow him on Instagram. I love like
Yeah.
when he talks about his content and how he does stuff. Really really cool.
Yeah,
Really
he's
really
really
cool.
cool. Really cool stuff.
Would you ever want to contribute something similar to that kind of stuff to media in general?
Well, like a tutorial sort of way, or
It
just go
just
more in the app.
revolutionize the way content is captured and produced for that benefits musicians, for example.
I mean, I'd love to be able to do something that becomes viral and sort of like a style. I mean, that's everyone would love
The
to do that.
camp house style,
The
yeah,
Camphaus
okay,
style, like
yeah,
fucking Lightroom presets or something like that. That would be fucking sick. But it's just finding it, innit?
yeah,
And
yeah,
again, it comes down to cutting your teeth.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
just trying different things, trying different like anything worth doing is gonna take a lot of effort. Anything that
It is, yeah,
anyone's gonna like look at and be like, oh, that's sick. There's so much user generated content out there now. For us as like photographers and videographers to stand out, you need to put more effort into your stuff and more time. Even into the
definitely,
small things. Like that
definitely,
Dr. Clip stuff. He goes and films it all on a gimbal on 60 mil and puts it into After Effects after.
yeah.
He's rotoscoping the hell out of it, putting all these effects on. Like that takes hours, man.
Yeah,
That takes time. He's probably got it down
and
to a fine art now, but
anything with After Effects, you need a decent piece of hardware as well.
yeah, my computer's not bad. I got the M1 chip in my MacBook, so it's fine.
That's sick hardware. That the
Yeah,
M1 chip. That's
M1 on. Yeah, rendering's class.
yeah.
Like really quick. Yeah. Apart from
Oh.
last night when I was rendering like 200 clips out, and it was like you've run out of application memory, and it was like 70 gig of RAM was fucking being used.
Ah,
I was like, yeah,
no.
I don't have that, bruv. Like,
Oh my days. Do you use After Effects for much?
not a lot at the moment, but I'm looking to get more into it. I want to move over to DaVinci. See, that's like the one, DaVinci Resolve.
I don't want to say it too loud, but I'm considering that as well.
Mm.
I mean, Adobe's rinsing me at the moment.
DaVinci's free as well.
The problem is that I use the Adobe suite.
Yeah,
I use Audition for editing audio, Photoshop, Lightroom for pictures,
yeah,
obviously, Premiere Pro for video. And by the time I've already bought those three separate things, that's already 50 quid's worth of subscription.
yeah,
So I might as well pay the extra 6 quid on top to get access to After Effects, just in case I ever use it for anything.
yeah.
You know?
There's definitely room for. There's always room for improvement. We're all learning. I mean, every day is a school day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, technically nothing to stop me from editing my audio in another door. It's just a case of pricing it up and seeing what I can work with.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, because I don't use Apple, I don't have access to Pro Tools.
yeah.
You know?
Well, Pro Tools you can get on Windows, right?
No, it's Apple exclusive. At least the stuff that I've seen, like I've
Logic Pro is Mac, but I'm sure Pro Tools is Windows as well.
it might be Logic Pro that I'm thinking of then. Apple Logic.
Yeah,
It might be Logic that I'm thinking of.
because Logic's what I use. That's
I
the tool I
I
use.
I used Logic in university, but again, that was back
Class
when
right then.
we had access to iMacs and things like that.
Yeah, just buy a Mac then.
I'm a Windows user. I like
Weak. You got Apple
well,
phones, haven't you?
that's besides the point.
No, it all integrates. It's so easy, man. You can have
Yeah,
a video on your phone, just airdrop it to yourself, rather than going
yeah,
and
yeah,
bloody
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
emailing and stuff. That integration is just like great.
That's my biggest
I'm
problem at the moment.
brainwashed, bro. I'm so brainwashed by Steve Jobs. Apple through and through, man.
I mean, the stocks are doing pretty well, so I'll consider it.
Yeah.
So you used to work the bar in Fuel.
Indeed, back in the day.
Does working so Fuel, for anyone that doesn't know, is
Best rock club in Wales.
the best rock club in Wales, based in Cardiff on Womanby Street. Did work in the bar provide any benefits to the band?
I think like maybe. I think like your networking and the stuff that you do when you're
Networking,
in
okay.
that industry definitely helped in the beginning,
Okay.
and helps like the people who are coming out to our shows and stuff is
I
are
like the
people
part
you
where you
know.
said in the beginning. I like that part. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I haven't worked there for ages, so um, it would have to be the beginning. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think like regardless of like feel or not, like all of the different places that all of the members of Glass Heart have worked, all the people that we've met, all the networking that everyone has done has helped towards where we are now. And
Okay.
again, not trying to be like, oh, where we are now as if that's like a massive thing. 'Cause we're literally, drops in the pond. But
You're not small.
um,
I know I know you're being very modest and humble, but you guys are not small. Maybe on an international global chart level, okay, there's room, but I wouldn't have considered you guys a small band in any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, in
You've
the scene
released
in South Wales, like we're like at a point where like an album needs to come really now. We need to have
everyone always should release albums. Everyone everywhere. Like
uh,
no matter how big you are, release an album. Whoever's left standing, you guys are the big artists.
mm,
That's my approach to it, and I'll say that to whether it's a rock band, whether it's a rap artist, release an album when the smoke clears and we still see who's left standing after, because it's not a small production.
no,
It's not
so
it's
much,
very expensive, a lot of time, a lot of attention,
a lot of internal politics, all that jazz.
tons, tons.
It's something that we've been considering for years, but it's one of them things like when it makes sense, it'll make sense. I've been pushing. Oh yeah, we should do it, but like when it makes sense for us, we'll do it.
After 5 years, why hasn't it happened yet?
I mean, like a lot of it is like, is it within our budget to do a album this time? Yes, no. Like, do you know what I mean? And with a lot of the time, and like I've been building up my own business for the last
Oh yeah,
year.
time is
Um,
massive. Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Adam's been touring with Sleep Token, Jake with
Lucky
Dreamstay.
guy,
Um,
you lucky bugger.
so yeah, it's a lot of it is time and time in writing, and the ability to write music together in a space that we don't have to fucking pay for. Like, so it'll come one day, but I can't confirm or deny when that is going to be. So
Okay, all right, no problem, no problem. No, that's fine. I won't push it. I won't try to
I
like
would love to though.
bully you guys into it. I would love you to as well.
Bu-
I thought you did.
Bully me into making an album. I'm gonna go away from you crying. I'm gonna ring
Yeah,
Adam and be
yeah.
like, "We gotta make an
Boys, we
album
gotta
because
get on
Sonny
it.
told me to."
Yeah, please, boys. Love them. Sweet. I think I've asked you almost everything I want to ask you about the band, about Camphaus Media.
Okay,
I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on developments and stuff. Like
nice.
you saw my iTunes. I've already bought your music.
Yeah.
I'm already invested.
Thank you for the money.
I want to all 5 seconds of it.
Thank you for 5 pence.
Well, it was what was it? It was I think I've bought about 20 songs so far. I bought the 3 EPs. I thought it was 2 EPs and an album, but
Turns out.
and I think there's another single in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was about 20 quid so far. So not bragging.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
But no one should ever look at my bank statements and see how much I spend on money.
Spend on money.
See how much I spend on music. I am the worst for it. I will easily drop 50 plus quid in every month on songs that have like
Yeah.
5 minutes old or like 5 years old.
Yeah.
I will fucking
You're
buy
supporting the
music.
scene, bro. Thank you.
Well, that's how I see
The
it.
scene appreciates you.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I see it. Brilliant. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Any pre-sponsors? Anyone you want to kind of get in the good books?
Any clout to be had?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, fuck you. I did.
Sorry, Nathan's girlfriend. Sorry.
Fuck you. I got you on my own. Yeah, just shout out to everyone who supports my band and works for me as a client. And yeah, you're all class. Love you all.
Awesome.
Legends.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. My final question, I ask it to every single guest. If you could give the middle finger to someone, because this is the MF podcast, the Middle Finger Podcast.
Nice.
If you could give the middle finger to someone, who would you give it to, or what would you give it to, and why?
God. Who would I give?
My, no, not God.
No, not him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
God? Jesus. Not him either. who would I give the middle finger to? I don't know. Like Hitler or something? Something like that. I don't bloody know.
That's a choice. That's a
Someone,
choice.
yeah. We'll go for Hitler.
I mean, it
He
did.
wasn't a nice guy.
Okay, yeah. Answer accepted. Giving the middle finger to Adolf Hitler. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Job done.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you, Nath. You've been an absolutely fantastic guest.
Listen, for having me, mate.
I'm gonna love editing this episode, kind of getting it done. Shame about the technical issue halfway through, but I can kind of see the heat symbol kind of starting to flash again, so I don't want to push my
Oh
luck
God.
twice.
I like that.
Thank you to everyone who watches these podcast interviews. I'm having so much fun interviewing guests like Nathan. If you want to be able to support the podcast, you can check me out on patreon.com, www.patreon.com/TheSonney, where you can find a minimum subscription tier for £3. And out of that £3 of your goodwill, you help me kind of put these things together, pay for my bills, purchase equipment, and just get things done. So yeah, thank you to everyone.
Subscribe.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
We've just hit 200 subscribers, so I want to get to 300 ASAP. That is it from us. Peace.
Nice one. Thank you.